I'll go ahead and let you guys roll it here.
Well, I was actually working yesterday, and we had the live stream or the live shot of the camera that was at the Turning Point Memorial. I was setting up the live stream to go on for ours, and then I look over, and there's a kid running around on top of the memorial.
Oh, you saw it right as it was happening.
Yes. So I saw it in real time. I mentioned he was a kid. He looked like a younger individual, but he just ran across the entire memorial, stepping on flowers, posters, balloons. And then from there, one guy kind of tackled him down. And I do know that the people held him down until he was apprehended.
I think we have that sound now. Let's go to it. Oh, nope. Stand by. Okay, so we are looking for, I'm just going to chat here for just a second. I'm looking for SOT 1. Which is out there. If you see it, go ahead and roll it. Hey, we're on a streaming show. So if you do see it, then we will attempt. I'm going to try it one more time. No, sorry. We don't have that. As soon as you guys get it, just let me know. But
like body cam device. And he had a phone. I think he was recording himself because he was talking to himself. So I'm assuming he was recording himself. And he was saying a lot of hateful things towards Charlie.
Now, Isabella, you mentioned that he was a kid. Basically, he was a teenager, 19 years old. He's been ID'd as Ryan Corral. And people held him right there until officers could come up and actually arrest him. And a spokesman for the police department said he's going to be booked on a number of charges, including criminal damage and disorderly conduct. I mean, we've seen a tremendous amount of chatter online that I think maybe surprises a lot of people, what we're seeing, what we're reading. But to see somebody go out there and purposely try to destroy some of the mementos that have been left behind, I think still was pretty shocking to people.
Yes, it was. And, I was looking at that live shot of the memorial, and it wasn't a moving camera. It was still right showing the memorial. So it had been the same image for like an hour. And then all of a sudden someone's running across it. I was like, is this a different camera? What's happening? It all happened really fast.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see the people there that were there for the intentions of paying the respects. They all kind of came together and held him down. Because, as you mentioned, no matter what the people's beliefs are, that was held to memorialize Charlie Kirk at the place of his work. So, it was definitely interesting to see.
Now, here's something else that happened last night. There have been vigils. My understanding, you guys, is there have been vigils all over the country. I was not aware that there are literally hundreds of Turning Point chapters around the country and even in other places around the world.
Yeah, high schools and colleges, and Turning Point announced that there was going to be potentially even more after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, that other schools wanted to get involved in that way. Yeah, yes. So they are kind of a growing movement, but they are basically on almost every campus, I would say. I mean, I don't know the percentage or the number, but hundreds and thousands.
So then in Washington, there was a vigil last night, and I saw an early picture of the lines that was stretched for a very long ways. And inside, very interesting, White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt had this to say about where she is today in her high-profile position, and only there because of Charlie Kirk.
I was like, this guy's going to do something. He had some torpid.
Okay, my apologies. I'm going to, again, let you guys roll it.
The heroic efforts of Charlie Kirk, who turned the political tide among young people in this country and helped usher in President Trump's historic victory on November 5th, 2024.
All right, so just some there of what we heard. And then there is going to be a vigil tonight for Charlie Kirk, and that is going to be locally at ASU. So I'm going to have you roll VO2 now. VO2, the ASU Vigil. And from what we've learned about that, it's going to be at the Desert Financial Arena, 5:30 to 7:30, and the doors will open at 4:30. They have a clear bag policy in effect Then one other aspect that I thought I'd get your guys' take on is that J.D. Vance said that he was going to go ahead and host an episode of the Charlie Kirk Show today. This is going to be VO3 now. J.D. Vance hosting, and there we go, in honor of Charlie Kirk. I don't know that all of us knew, Andy, how deep this friendship ran between the two of them.
Yeah, and we saw it obviously the day after. We saw Air Force Two really go very quickly Utah to transport the casket to escort him back here to Arizona. So obviously those two are very close. And you talked about, and you heard there from Caroline Leavitt also, the fact that the youth of America, and obviously that was a big component to President Trump and his victory. So the fact that he was able to get so many people, so many young people into politics, obviously we talk about that, just getting people out to vote is just such a big component of who wins elections. And they've done that in a big way. We talked about the number of college campuses that have a Turning Point USA, kind of a group on that campus. So obviously J.D. Vance there, integral. Charlie Kirk was instrumental in J.D. Vance's rise in politics as the senator from Ohio. So this is just kind of the most recent in terms of this. So yeah, lots of vigils going around the country.
Okay, we are going to take a break. Sorry for all of our technical problems today, but we'll take a break and we'll be back with more here on Fox 10 Talks.
Right, because I was like, why is this Tampa, like, station, right. Fox, that's what was, yeah. So I think.
Everybody, and we welcome you back now to more of Fox 10 Talks. And so what we're doing is we have reached out with our friends at Fox to connect with Danamarie McNicholl. She's got a report on the Ryan Routh trial. If you've been following Danamarie, this is there have really been some interesting developments in this court case.
Yeah, good afternoon. I mean, we've seen Ryan Routh. He's inside the courtroom representing himself, taking in that federal courtroom. This morning, we've watched two of the witnesses of the prosecution already take the stand today, including FBI agents, a firearms expert, and an evidence technician who searched Routh's car. So the jury has seen a lot of the evidence allegedly found at the scene, and now what was found in the car of Ryan Routh after he fled.
Yeah, matter of fact, we're showing you had passed along some of the things that were found in his car. This is based on the testimony in court, I believe. And we've also been hearing from family members, right?
Yeah, that's right. His daughter, Sarah, she's been in the courtroom all week long. Last week, she mentioned to reporters that she thinks her father is doing good considering that he is sick. So we've seen Ryan Routh somewhat sniffle and cough, claiming that he wasn't getting enough sleep inside where he's staying in the jail. And he actually asked Judge Eileen Cannon a couple of times to move jails, but with no success. Now, you did mention some of the evidence that the jury saw today, what was found in Ryan Routh's car that he used to flee the scene before local law enforcement stopped him. So I do want to kind of go over that with you right now. So inside that car, it was found a expired Hawaii driver's license, a U.S. passport, 6 cell phones, a debit card, and a handwritten note with flights to South America.
Yeah, and I do have a question for you, Dana. This is Andy Mack here on Live Now from Fox, joining us here down at Fox 10 Talks. I want to ask you, because last week during jury selection, there has been quite a bit of chatter about how maybe the judge, their kind of patience is wearing thin with all of the random talk, the random questions that Ryan Routh, obviously representing himself. Has that continued into a new week as the jury is seated, as the proceedings taking place? Is the patience waning there in the courtroom?
You know, the producers inside the courtroom haven't really alluded to any of that this week, but of course it's just Monday. I think we're starting to enter another week of unpredictability. As you mentioned during the opening statements, just after a couple of minutes, she cut him off. And then during cross-examinations, again only lasting a couple of minutes, he really didn't portray any clear sense of direction or even strategy. So he even chose not to cross-examine some of the witnesses the prosecution brought to the stand, which was also notable. But today we saw something a little bit different. This was the first time that the prosecution had to rebut his cross-examination. So today, during a cross-examination of the FBI agent who looked at some of that evidence in the car, he brought up an issue with a bullet casing found in his glove compartment. He asked questions and almost made it sound like the federal government tampered with that evidence, but then the prosecution had to come back and say, no, that's not the case. So it seems like he is getting a little bit more comfortable inside the courtroom this second week, but we'll see what happens. The prosecution has said that they're going to rest their case by the end of the week, potentially by Thursday, and then Judge Cannon mentioned to Ryan Routh that he needs to be ready for his first witness to take the stand by Friday. So it's going to be a very busy week, ending with an interesting part to see, Routh bring his witnesses up to the stand.
All right, that is our Danamarie McNicholl reporting for us from out in front of the courthouse. It does seem as though, and Danamarie, thanks very much. It does seem as though, okay, thank you, that the trial is moving along very quickly.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we talked about it, and we talked to different Fox reporters on the ground there in Fort Pierce, Florida, about the kind of dynamic that this has, because he was granted the ability to represent himself in court, and there are questions about mental health and whether this person is potentially even capable of doing that, representing himself, because obviously that is kind of in the Constitution, you have to have your fair trial.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, and also the fact that there is standby counsel. There are lawyers for potentially Ryan Routh there. They're just not involved. So Eileen Cannon, the judge, could at some point say, hey, this has gone off the rails long enough. We need actual counsel in place so that you can be represented, you can be defended in some sort of way. So they're potentially going to rest the case. At least the prosecution is this week. And then obviously the defense will get a chance to do it. But this is moving very rapidly, and we'll see if any of these developments, because there's a lot of ways this could go in the very near future.
By the way, I do want to update everybody on what's going on with our poll question this morning. I don't know if you guys are able to bring up, that would be remote 28. Here's our poll question, and it has to do with over the weekend. The president has been speaking, saying, look, I blame the left for the problems that we're experiencing right now. Do you agree? 13% are saying, I don't. There's plenty of blame on both sides. Unite the country, Mr. President. That's 13%. 66% of you are saying, yeah, I do agree. Like it or not, he is speaking the truth. And then 21% additional saying, no, if anything, the right is to blame for more of our country's problems. So we have the YouTube poll. I'm going to go ahead and have you guys pop that up as well.
Yeah, 11
and
comments
Bella, look
so
at
far.
this. We already have 300 votes.
Yes, 300 votes, 11 comments, and counting. I have been reading some of the comments that I will share. Someone says, weird, the commenters are liberal, but they're getting ratioed by voters. Someone else said, the stats say that roughly 75% of political violence in this country comes from the right, but hey, let's not let the facts get in the way. And another commenter says, Trump is not to blame. It is the American voters. Trump is just the symptom.
Okay, so there, for example, are just a few of the votes and the remarks that you guys have. We launched YouTube not that long ago. When did we launch that? Would you say, Isabella, around 9-ish, 9:15 maybe?
Yeah, as soon as you sent it to me, I think it was up within 5 minutes. So,
okay, so around 9:15 and already 300 votes. People are pretty split on this, Andy.
Yeah, they are split. I mean, you saw the two different polls. One is kind of leaning into what the president says. The other side, at least if you put the other two kind of polls together where it says, hey, the right is the problem and like, hey, we need to tone down the rhetoric, they obviously taking the majority of the votes there. So it's interesting to look at all of this. And we've chronicled, obviously, some of the political violence over the last 6 months, a year plus. So obviously, everyone is saying that there needs to be a temperature decrease. They need to tone down a lot of it. So we'll see where this goes. Obviously, that potentially could lead us to our next story, Ron.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, sure. There's no doubt about it. We had one of the more well-known commentators that is out there on the spectrum on the right, Ben Shapiro, saying that, in fact, I think we might have that on VO4, Ben Shapiro, but that's the guy introducing him. He'll be up at the podium in just a moment. He has now said there's something he'll never do again for the rest of his life, for the rest of his political career. He says, I will never do another outdoor appearance. He says it dawned on him after realizing what had happened to Charlie Kirk, and it does really raise a question. You know, you guys, Bella, I know you remember this from last week, and Andy, maybe you heard us talking about one of our commentators in the chat box. By the way, we're having all kinds of technical issues today, so normally we would be reading your remarks on YouTube, and we appreciate all of the folks that are watching us. But we did want to let you know that one of our commentators last week said we need to get to the point now, because drones are very inexpensive, that if there's any kind of an event where there's any kind of concern over the safety of the speaker, get a drone or two up in the skies. Now you have to, unfortunately, because of all the sniper incidents, you have to have that be part of the component.
Yeah. No, there's just a lot of news. Sorry, I was busy reading the comments. A lot of people were contributing a lot of different comments as well from our poll question.
And I was going to say, we spoke to law enforcement experts over the last several days since this all happened on Wednesday, and that was one of the key components, is that the security for Charlie Kirk, they were kind of a close proximity in case anyone rushed the stage, in any case someone had that physical, but from several hundred yards away atop a roof. Several of the law enforcement people that we spoke to said drones were potentially an asset that could be used to mitigate some of these concerns, because now we're getting all these videos in of cell phones of, like, you can kind of see this black blob atop a building in the far distance. If you had drones up there, you might it might not necessarily stop it, but it will definitely deter someone in the capability in doing that. So just an added layer, and the technology is there somewhat inexpensively to do this.
Right.
It makes me think, too, especially for the upcoming vigils, like one at the stadium, for example, when you have a place where so many people are gathering, it's going so high up. Again, like a drone would be something useful, I'd say, in situations like that, just extra security.
Yeah. Okay, there's another story we're following. We're going to get to it here before we hit our next break. And I have never seen, in all our years of covering light rail accidents, etc., anything as kind of, I guess, violent as this. There was a crash involving a truck and a light rail train this weekend. And boy, it was actually caught on security camera. So this is going to be SOT 3. And let's roll it.
Oh my gosh.
And so that video clearly taken. Look at that. The fire just erupts. It's just unclear at this point how the driver of that semi-truck did not see the light rail. There was a sort of a last-second effort. You could hear the horn, but yeah, in the end, you guys, it ended up shutting down a full light rail service for several blocks in that area around 18th Street in Washington.
Oh my gosh!
Unbelievable.
That is crazy, and I don't know if you guys have been in other places that have transit, have light rail, but Phoenix, they cross over quite a bit between just cars and light rail traffic. So obviously it's very unfortunate, but man, that is a scene.
Yeah, it sure is. All right, time for a break. We'll be right back. Here we go. Okay. Okay, everybody, welcome back. We do have a mystery cam for you, and boy, oh boy, look at those palm tree lined streets. So, yeah, we just managed to get that picture up. And if you want to give us your guesses, great. But we'll jump right in and let you know. In the meantime, Isabella. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
I'm Ron.
And I'm
She's
Isabella.
All right. So I think we solved that problem.
Good.
And that was, I'm glad we did.
It's okay. It's a Monday.
Yeah,
And we're
for
streaming.
sure. But first, you were going to read some of the comments, Bella.
I was. You know, just going back to that light rail crash, when I saw that video, I got chills. I rode the light rail on Saturday.
Yes.
And just seeing that happen was kind of scary. So I'm glad that, you know, everyone was okay involved. A lot of good comments in regards to that crash. Jared of Sonora says, wow, insane. RLS Vid says, was this a case of another truck driver who shouldn't be driving a truck or something else? And then Charles David, he says the driver's side fuel tank of the truck was ruptured, so that might have been why we saw such a big explosion.
Oh, is that right? Okay, for anybody who maybe just now is joining us, we had it in the last segment. I'm going to roll it again. Here you go.
Really scary video. Linda.
What was that, Bella?
No, just a very scary video. Linda says she was watching and she saw the video last night and she's glad that nobody was hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, we appreciate your comments, that's for sure. Okay, so we do have control back here. Things are settling down and yeah, we got it all set, ready to go. By the way, this is clearly something that we have seen crashes before, but generally they're involving, you know, smaller, you know, 4-door or 2-door cars, not a great big semi-truck.
Right. I mean, it's just a miracle that nobody inside was hurt.
Yeah.
Pretty
that's
scary.
A really good point.
Really scary.
Fortunately, it happened, you know, kind of late at night, so there weren't a lot of riders anyway. But, all right, so coming up, let's see here. We're at 10:33. I think we're going to be all set and ready to go. Let me punch up the Zoom. We have Eric Wilson all set and ready to go. That's right.
Caught me texting.
Eric, no, it's all
Hello.
good, buddy. You got your Jaws shirt
Hey.
on. You're still a fan
celebrating 40th
after all these
anniversary.
years. Yeah, good for you.
Hi.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Classic.
Yeah, it really was. So, hey, let's talk about, because I think a lot of people are. By the way, Isabella is joining me today. Celeste is out, so you get a chance to chat with Bella. So, what are some of the big takeaways regarding the Emmys last night, and why is there so much chatter about Sydney Sweeney?
You know, I think the main takeaway is that people actually watched the Emmys last night. I think that, you know, most award shows have kind of been, you know, hit or miss lately, but it was a really good show. I don't know the Sydney Sweeney of it all. I think people, again, they're putting this conservative title on her. We have no idea what she's into, what her politics truly are. She hasn't really spoken much on it, so it's hard to speculate, but people seem to think that she lost because she's a conservative, and obviously Hollywood's more liberal, so people aren't there to award her. But I don't know if that's necessarily true.
So is it that unusual? I know one of the headlines, I check your guys' website out every day. I go to TMZ, but is it that unusual for a name as big as she is to then like immediately skip out on all the after parties?
No, I mean, she's a very busy woman. You know, we see her everywhere. I'm surprised she even went to the award ceremony to begin with. I feel like she's always somewhere doing something. So, you know, no, it's not, I don't think it's that big of a deal, honestly.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit more about the other kind of big headlines to come out of the night. And then before we wrap, I want to get your take on Nate Bargatze and his hosting. But what other headlines actually came out of it all?
I think the two biggest are the winners. The Studio and Adolescence are two shows this year that came out of nowhere and really took the spotlight last night. The Studio, obviously the Seth Rogen produced show, and obviously Hollywood loves Hollywood. No one loves Hollywood more than Hollywood. So a show about Hollywood
That's funny.
Is obviously going to do well. And I think particularly with the Studio is people like Seth and Evan who created the show, but also the guest stars for this, I mean, were pretty insane. Catherine O'Hara, I mean, obviously everything she does is a masterclass, but she really shined in that show. Scorsese was a guest star. So I think the idea that it was also Hollywood, but the people in Hollywood that were included in this project, I think was a reason it was recognized, but also it was just a hilarious show. Adolescence, the other side of that coin, obviously was a more serious show. But that was the young actor took home the award last night. And I think, they came out of nowhere, but people are looking into them now for sure.
You know, we're all in our business. I know it won't shock you, Eric, but we're so busy covering news all the time and watching news coverage when we're not here in the building. I'm just not familiar with some of these shows that are big winners. But if you've got a record breaker like that show was, can you just give us like the 20-second short version? What's it all about? Why is it developing so many fans?
For the studio?
Yeah, I mean, why are people in love with it?
I mean, it didn't break records. I think it was tied for the most nominations with 23.
Right.
But
what's
again,
the show about?
I just think it's a look at Hollywood. It's about a studio executive who was let go and them trying to get their fame back and get back into the industry. So it's really just it harpoons the industry. I'm trying to think of an example. It's like Entourage, but maybe a little less fratty, I guess we could say it. Or, but like it's like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but real and current. It feels real, it feels authentic, but it's also hilarious. So I think that's the reason people enjoy it so much.
And Jean Smart wins another award. What's that show? Because boy, is it getting a lot of talk.
Again, Hacks is another industry insider type show. I personally love Hacks more than the studio, but I think they're both really quality shows, and I think people just really love Jean Smart. She's amazing. She's a great talent. And if you remember, the end of last season ended with Jean Smart finding out that she died via TMZ. That was the finale of season 3 was her getting an alert that she was dead via TMZ. So who knows? Maybe TMZ's in the new season.
There you go.
You never know.
What do you think, Bella? A possible Eric Wilson cameo?
I hope so. I hope so. I would love that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I could use the residuals.
So we got to talk about Nate Bargatze. He's so hilarious. He has fans all over the country. So he gets on stage and says he's going to make a big charity donation. The crowd loves it. And he says, there's only one catch. For every speaker that goes over the, what is it, a 45 second limit?
Yeah.
I'm going to start deducting that money. What happened?
Yeah, so he started out the night with $100,000 for the Boys and Girls Club of America. He said, I will donate this full amount if you guys can stay under 45 seconds. He says for every second under 45, he'll add $1,000 per second. For every second over 45, he's going to take away $1,000. So by the end of the night, Hollywood's full of egos. Everyone, of course, used up all the seconds, and it was negative. But,
it was negative.
At the end, CBS and Nate decided to donate $350,000 to the Boys and Girls Club of America. So it's interesting that a threat like this didn't work. It didn't seem. I mean, some people cared, some people didn't. People like Lorne Michaels. You can give a 1-second speech, my guy. You've been there enough, But people, but there are still some people. There were a lot of first-time winners last night, and sorry to the Boys and Girls Club, but if I win my first-time Emmy, I'm going to take my time and make sure I thank the people who mattered to me in my life. So, it was probably a difficult decision for them to make, but I think the people who won for the first time going a little longer, what are you going to do?
Yeah, there you go. Well, it was hilarious, and I actually think it was an audience builder. I think people wanted to watch the whole night to see. They should have had like an internal countdown clock, right?
Oh, yeah.
43, 42.
Yeah, there were a couple times Hannah Einbinder, she said, she'll cover what she cost them for her speech. Nate a couple times put the money back in there for a couple people. So yeah, but 350, that's a great amount for the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, that's great. Good. Glad it all worked out the way it did.
Yeah.
Eric, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Good. All right. So, Bella, there are a couple of other stories before we hit the break.
Okay.
That I thought we would cover. And, people get busy on the weekends. Maybe they don't catch all the news that we have.
Oh, yeah.
But I want to get to the water main break. And
that footage is insane. That footage was great. I was working yesterday, and then we had that video sent in. It was actually from one of our photogs, was off, but he was driving and he saw it, and I'm so glad he sent that video in. You have to play it. I know you're going to play it. It's crazy.
Is it 7? Is it VO7 or 8, you guys?
Really,
VO7
really
ready,
great.
And you got to watch this, right? Here we go. Look at that. I mean, talk about your pressurized. This is like Old Faithful. I mean, if it were to become a tourist attraction, You'd have thousands of people every day
Oh, I know.
drive down there to 27th Avenue just to see it. 27th and
I
Southern.
could not imagine how our photog was feeling. You know, it's your day off. You're just driving down the street, maybe to go get a haircut.
Right.
And then you see that on the side of the road.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I do appreciate the fact that, by the way, do you know which photog? Let's give him a shout out. Do you remember who it was?
Oh.
If it comes to you. But
We have so many. It'll come to me.
yeah. The thing is, you know, you're walking up, you're seeing it like this. By the way, straight up at that point, a little more perpendicular here. But moving around, you know, walking up to where it's happening and then actually backing off and going far enough away because you want to get the perspective shots. And I guess it took them a while before they were finally able to get it all shut down.
It did. It caused a couple of traffic restrictions, and it was going on
Sure.
for hours
Yeah.
when that happened.
And you just
yesterday.
wonder because we've had water main breaks in the past and it's never, ever been quite to this level.
I mean,
So
how many feet up high do you think that is shooting?
I would say it's got to be 100 feet.
Yeah, that looks pretty high.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, 100 feet would be what, about an 8-story building? I don't know, but it's wild, that's for sure. Okay, so everybody, we appreciate you watching Fox 10 Talks. Now, we're back on track. Go ahead and give us your mystery cam guesses because we had a couple, Bella, but I want to make sure everybody has a chance. Oh, wait a sec. Yeah, let's see if we can go back to, because we didn't answer the mystery
We
cam
didn't.
yet.
A couple of people were in the chat
Okay.
making their guesses.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of Floridas.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to go with that too.
You know, sometimes I see that and I always want to guess Florida, but then it's the Gulf Coast. You know,
Oh.
it could be somewhere else.
Mhm.
Here it is. It's a beautiful blue sky day. I'm actually going to, let me think about it. So on the coastline, you go from Florida. If you're on the Gulf side, you'd have Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. Anyway, you guys give us your guesses and we'll be back with the answer on the mystery cam right after this. And thank you, everybody, for your guesses this morning on Fox 10 Talks. Bella, you're seeing a lot of good guesses,
A lot
yes?
of good guesses.
Okay.
I'll read a couple. Patricia Randolph says Florida. Jen Zwolf says Louisiana. Darla is saying Cali. Jared of Sonora thinks it's one of the Great Lakes. RLS Vids thinks it's Texas. D-Ong thinks Tampa. Linda is going with Florida. And Jared of Sonora is saying he is going with Texas.
I like Darla with, it could be the Florida-Georgia line. Which, by the way, is a great group. Love their music all the way. I do think I'm going to go beyond Florida and just go up into Alabama. I went down there once. We can't really see it too closely, but there's a pretty little beach down there called Orange Beach. So
pretty.
Yeah, and by the way, we have some New Jersey guesses too. But Bella, here you go. What is the answer,
I'm gonna go
please?
with Florida. That's my guess.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay.
Here we go.
Ready?
Yep. Oh, upside down. Bring it around. Oh, Titusville, Florida.
Titusville, Florida.
I think I'll have to go look that up. I think it's in the Tampa St. Pete area.
A lot of guesses were Florida, so great job, chat.
Yeah, good job, you guys.
Definitely
That's
not
for
Tucson.
Sure.
Yes, Melinda, not Tucson.
Okay. Hey, here's a question for you. When do the Cardinals win a game and the coach is in a sour mood?
Uh-oh.
They did manage to win yesterday, but coach didn't seem that happy in the post-game news conferences, and here's why. They jumped to a huge lead. I think it was 27-3. The Panthers are no good.
Yeah.
They stink.
Yeah.
They're probably the worst team in the NFL.
Probably.
And we got them at our place. Let's put pedal to the metal.
Oh,
but
yeah.
A game that should have ended like 38-3. Instead, they come all the way back and almost won the game in the last couple of minutes.
Oh, you would think with your home field advantage.
Correct. 27-22 was the final score. So, yeah, he was not happy at all, saying we got to put the pedal to the metal. But how about Calais Campbell? Now, years and years and years ago, he was a star on defense for the Cardinals. And the fact that they had a last-minute play where they could have won the game, instead Calais Campbell goes rushing through. Calais, you got to come be a guest on Fox 10 Talks. He's such a cool guy.
Yeah.
For many years, they used to do down at the Orpheum Theater a radio version of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol.
Oh, wow.
And it was a live production from the Orpheum. And one year I went down there as one of the characters.
Oh, how nice.
And guess who the other guy was with me? Calais Campbell.
No way.
Yeah, man. He is a man of many talents. And I'm going to predict right now that whenever he retires, he wanted to come back and play another maybe year or two for the Cardinals. He's got a very cool future in the radio and television business. Love Calais Campbell.
Well, let's get him on our show.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get him on Fox 10 Talks.
All right. Well, I know the guy who books our guests right over there. So,
Dave.
Calais Campbell, Big D. We haven't even said hi to you yet. How's your day going, buddy?
You know, my day is fantastic because we got Ron and Isabella hosting Fox 10 Talks.
Yeah.
Having tons of fun.
Good. Okay. Excellent. Hey, let's get to a few more stories here. This story out of Scottsdale, I think had a lot of people talking because it's video of a guy getting tased. It's caught on camera. It was sent to us at Fox 10 by a viewer last night. It was up around Scottsdale Road and Carefree Highway. Now, police say, and we're going to roll it here in about 10 seconds, they say two people were involved in an argument, and one claimed that a man was armed with a knife, and the police were there, and here's what happened. We're going to roll it for you right here. So you can see there's the guy in question. We do not have sound. We're not able to hear. Thank you to Amanda for sending this video in. But boom, down he goes once the taser is deployed. Now, the reason police, if they feel like they're in a threatening situation, you know, they always have the option to reach for their gun. But the reason they carry tasers is that situations can, in fact, be de-escalated.
Of course.
At the discretion of the officer. And you look at this guy and you're like, well, it sure doesn't really seem like he's following commands. He's moving toward them. He's moving away. And then at some point, eventually, still not quite clear why he wasn't cooperating more, but he was taken into custody.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people talking about it, that's for sure. But I'll tell you what they're talking about more. When it comes to body cams, Bella, this is such an interesting story. We go to Walmart. Are you a frequent Walmart shopper? Well,
I
you
am
might
not.
be on camera a lot more often. Really, you don't go to Walmart that often, huh?
No.
I like going to Walmart and getting the pickup orders. They have the friendliest people at the pickup order. And some of these Walmarts have like 30 spaces for you to park because people love just shopping on their phone.
Yeah.
And then showing up and boom, the next thing you know, you open your trunk and you're out of there.
It's quick. It's convenient.
Yeah.
People are busy.
Yeah. So here is the story in a nutshell. Apparently, they have been testing out body cams for some of the associates in the store. They feel like they want to have them because sometimes customers can act kind of weird.
Yeah.
And it can escalate into a conflict either between a couple of shoppers or perhaps between a Walmart associate and somebody who is acting up in the store. You know, whether they might be high on drugs or drunk or something along those times. But the cameras, we're told, are there, if they do roll this out nationwide, not so much as an anti-theft program, although that might help.
I'm sure.
Because if you've gone into some stores, not so much here in the Valley, but in other locations around the country, a lot of the products are behind plexiglass now,
Yes,
right?
yes. The last time I went to Walmart here in the Valley, I was in the beauty section.
Okay.
And all of the makeup
Was it
was
all
locked
locked
up.
up?
I had to ask an associate to open it up for me. And then all of the hair products were locked up. So, you know, I'm sure the body cam footage, if they do end up doing this, could be helpful because I think theft might be a big issue.
Yeah. Okay. So they are testing it apparently in Texas right now.
Okay.
But look, if it's for the safety of their employees, you know,
That's a priority.
They're going to probably be some people are like, but my privacy rights. Well, if the employees don't feel safe, you got to protect them.
Definitely.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't care what I look like on a body cam at Walmart.
Hopefully you're never captured on a body cam at Walmart, Ron.
Thank you very much, Isabella.
Yes.
All right. So one of the big headlines, in fact, the big headline today in the world of social media is it looks like there might actually finally be a deal for TikTok. What's your take?
You know, I feel like this has been an ongoing conversation for what seems like the last 2 years. I don't know. I feel like every day it's been, oh, we're getting rid of TikTok. Oh, you know, there was an era where so many TikTok creators thought TikTok was going away. They all made their farewell videos, you know?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Right when it was really tense back around the first of the year,
and,
right?
you know,
January.
A lot of TikTokers, content creators who that's their full-time job, they were getting emotional over it and saying, I don't know how I'm going to make a living because this is my income. But, you know, if that's the case and they're finally going to reach a deal, I think that will be a lot easier for the people that rely on it.
Is it safe to say that more people are monetizing themselves on TikTok than on Instagram? And if so, why is that the case? Because that's what the outpouring was all about.
Yeah, I definitely believe that's the case. I think just because in terms of, you know, things going viral, I think that is just so much more of a TikTok thing.
Okay.
I think a lot more people are on TikTok.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think Instagram is kind of more like you're showing a photo book of like all your best moments. But when you go on TikTok, people are just sharing what they do every day. I just feel like there's so much more content on TikTok.
Is it easier if you're watching a TikTok video to either buy something or go to that person's page or whatever versus on Instagram? Tell me more.
Definitely. Well, Instagram didn't start doing Reels until more recently, and they were totally copying TikTok with that concept. So TikTok's had the video sharing this entire time. They have this whole thing called TikTok Shop where users will, you know, make these videos talking about product, and then they can go right there to TikTok Shop, which is on the app, and then go from there. Instagram doesn't really have a shopping feature yet. So in terms of that, I do think TikTok is ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it sounds like Larry Ellison, he's not a household name like an Elon Musk, but for a while last week, he actually surpassed Elon Musk as the richest man in the world. The reports I'm seeing is that somehow he's going to be involved.
Okay.
So we'll see how it all goes. Talking about being involved, what about the burger chat today? So we have already had, Bella, National Burger Day. That happens back in May. And
I remember we were talking about it.
I know. So I get in this morning and I start checking, okay, well, what's today? And, well, they said it was National Double Cheeseburger Day.
Oh, yum.
And so it, in terms of the research I'm doing, it says that sometimes these chains or maybe the marketing groups, I don't know if there's like a National Burger Association. If there is, I'd like to be a part of it.
You should be the president of that group.
But so they have announced that September 15th every year is going to be National Double Cheeseburger Day. Now, here's what I don't especially like. You're sitting at the drive-thru. Mm-hmm. You're about to order. This happened to me over the weekend.
Okay.
And I like to get a nice breakfast sandwich at one of the more popular drive-thrus. And they say, you order it. And then they say, would you like cheese on that? They're trying to get you to spend an extra 50 cents on cheese is what's going on.
Oh.
And I'm like, I don't think so. Are you going to charge me extra for that slice of cheese? Huh. But when it comes to cheeseburgers, or especially double cheeseburgers, Bella, where would you go if you only had 20 minutes and you had to go catch one at the drive-thru?
Well, if I only have 20 minutes, I'd probably go to In-N-Out because it's close, it's quick.
Right.
But you know what I'm going to say. If I was at home, I would go to Dick's.
Yes, Dick's Burgers. Or as we always like to call them when I was DJing up there in Spokane, Richards or Richards. You try to give it a little more of an upscale feel.
Okay.
But you know what? When back in the 70s when I was DJing, you could get a cheeseburger there, I think, for like 29 cents.
Wow.
Now they're like still cheap,
still
like $2.75 or whatever. But here in town, I am going to go for, it's a real close call between In-N-Out's Double or the Dave's Double at Wendy's. You haven't had that yet, but I swear you'll love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have to talk about this more at the 11:30, but I'm seeing around town there's a lot of deals for today.
Oh,
National
yes?
Cheeseburger Day.
Oh.
Dairy Queen is one of them.
Okay.
That's your favorite spot.
All right.
Smash Burger. A lot of locations are offering specials for Cheeseburger Day today.
So stay tuned. Ty and Anita are up at 11. Oh, Ty and Danielle. And then at 11:30, Bella will tell us where you can get the best double cheeseburger deals. Back after this.
Welcome on in, and we're continuing things here on Fox 10 Talks at 11 o'clock. Anita is on assignment. So, Danielle.
You're stuck with me.
I'm glad
Sorry,
to have
folks.
you.
Yes.
Happy Monday.
Thank you. Happy Monday.
All right, real quick. You had some really cool live shots this morning.
Yeah. The
axe
light rail.
throwing.
Oh, yes. Yeah, yeah.
We'll get to that in a second.
Oh, okay, perfect.
But you went and did axe throwing.
I did, yes. And I was actually pretty good.
That place is cool. What's it called again? Battle Axe. Thank you. Battle Axe. BATL.
Yes. I'm so sorry. When you're up at 2:30 in the morning and I'm at 15 different live shots, my brain gets a little scattered here. But yeah, I never really did it before, and I was pretty good.
You were
But the
pretty
girl
good.
taught me the technique. I thought, you just had the axe in your hand and you just launch it
as hard as you can.
Oh no! Oh
There's
no!
a whole technique.
There's
to
a
it.
whole technique.
But once you learn the technique, you actually can.
You're
kind
great.
Of like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
The other live shot you were at.
Yes.
Just now.
Yes. The best.
Randy's
Donuts. They have their pumpkin donuts. They also have what's called a cronut, which is like a croissant mixed with a donut, and it's filled with apple pie filling.
I had both, by the way.
Insanity.
It was so good. And I didn't realize that they now have that location in Scottsdale. So they have, she said 3 locations.
There's 4.
4 locations.
So there's the 7th Street, I think, or
7th Ave.
7th, close to downtown Phoenix.
Oh, no, it is 7th Street. You're
Is
right.
it? Yeah.
Yep.
There's Scottsdale, which is right by Kierland. There's also a Gilbert location, which is on Val Vista and Queen Creek, let's call it.
Sure.
And then there was the Ahwatukee location and the Pilot gas station off of 40th, but now it's inside of the gas station.
Gotcha.
So it was on the side of it, but now it's on the inside.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
they're so good.
So
I know.
if you notice both of us kind of like jittery, it's because we have had
Either that or crashing. I'm almost like,
too much
I'm ready to go
sugar?
to bed. Yes.
Yeah.
I had so much sugar and deliciousness.
but that was really delicious.
It was so good.
All right, but as we mentioned, you had a busy morning. Your
Yeah.
very first story, this is a wild story.
Crazy. Yeah.
Let's show the video first,
Sure.
and you can kind of walk us through what we're watching because we got some amazing viewer video in this morning. That's not it.
That is amazing
Here it
video,
is.
though.
Here it is.
Okay, watch. Boom. Okay, so that was a semi, a tractor trailer, and it hit the light rail, which you can see that bus right there, and you can see the flames kind of just start right there in the I would say the cabin area of the semi, and then it just explodes and erupts. You can see those flames kind of starting on the other side of it,
On the train.
Yeah, and this is surveillance video from that business that's right there. But wow, it is incredible. The surveillance video. We also had a couple viewers
But look
shooting
how-
that. It's crazy.
How much it just went up in flames
It's
so
crazy.
quick.
Yeah, so quick. And we don't know exactly what happened just yet. We're still waiting to hear kind of what transpired to allow this to happen. But even, I don't know if we can hear it, but the video does have sound, and you hear just the boom, the big explosion from this. So it's crazy. And this happened at 7:15 yesterday
Last night.
Yeah. And they were still really busy cleaning up all of our live shots this morning, and I would be shocked if they're done cleaning it yet. So definitely going to be closed down for quite some time as they clean up.
And we were learning later on this morning, Valley Metro, who obviously runs the train system here in the Valley, said that there was about 20 to 25 passengers that were on board that train when it crashed this morning.
Everybody got out safely.
They were all
which
fine.
is incredible.
Yeah,
the driver of the truck did get taken to the hospital, listed in stable condition.
But the video is just insane. That initial impact, and that was from Jet Limousines, which he got some damage too, I believe. Do you know if he got some property
I'm not
damage?
100% sure, but I wouldn't be shocked because
the
he has all of
flames were right
his
there.
the vehicles right there, but you gotta assume all that diesel, fuel in that semi mixed with the electricity and everything else kind of going on in the light rail. Definitely a recipe for disaster.
So Valley Metro did say that it is going to be a while before they're kind of up and running again. This is on Washington where this happened, but they said that Jefferson is where things are still going to be moving.
Yep.
Okay.
They're going to be going in both
directions.
directions just to try to keep up with, some of that. But I would assume it's going to be closed there was oil and everything just spilled. They were picking up debris this morning. It is an absolute mess right there. So,
and probably then now the investigation will go in. Here's that video one more time. Watch this. So you see you can't exactly see where the cab of the truck was. All you see is kind of the aftermath. And I mean, that train must have been going pretty fast because he hits it and it drags it pretty far. But you also have to think that train is pretty well made too, because there's not a whole lot of damage to the train, and the train stayed on the track, thank goodness.
Other than the fire. But there was another video that was showing the firefighters, they were cutting into the tractor trailer because the fire was inside of the tractor trailer. They couldn't get to it. So they were cutting the sides, and you can even just see the flames kind of spilling out of these cuts that they made to the tractor tractor trailer to get in there and put a water line in there to get that fire out. So it was crazy.
That is
incredible.
insane.
Yeah, I'm shocked. Nobody was seriously, and hopefully that driver's going to be okay, but listed in stable condition.
Yeah,
Ooh, crazy.
And then the driver of the train too. I mean, because they must have hit the impact felt.
Oh,
as
for
well.
sure.
So,
yeah.
Pretty insane video there. Well, thank you, Danielle.
Yep, you bet.
The other story that we are following here this morning, which I thought was just kind of interesting, there was unfortunately a fatal motorcycle accident involving a Waymo vehicle. So this happened over the weekend. So this is kind of scene video. This happened in the Tempe area. This was over the weekend, early morning, right in the area of Rural and Apache Boulevard. So what we're being told by police is that the motorcyclist, I don't know if the motorcyclist was not paying attention, if the Waymo may have slowed down and they didn't understand or didn't see, but the motorcyclist hit the Waymo from behind. And then, unfortunately, there was a third vehicle that was involved in this. The motorcyclist was then hit by a third vehicle. Now, the third vehicle, the driver of that vehicle left the scene, but police were able to track down that driver, who we are told is a student at ASU. The motorcycle driver was taken to the hospital, pronounced dead at the scene. But in a statement to Fox 10, Waymo says that no passengers were in the vehicle at this time, that the company is now investigating and cooperating with the investigation into police there. But kind of scary to think that, anytime we talk about these autonomous vehicles, it gets a lot of attention because a lot of people are still kind of weary about it. But it sounds like, from all of the initial reports, that maybe the motorcyclist unfortunately was at fault here because they hit the back of the Waymo. So we'll be, I guess, continuing to follow that story as well.
Yep.
All right. You and I are the same age.
Yep.
So I remember opening up the mailbox at home and always getting stuff from Publishers Clearinghouse. Do you remember that? They would always send you junk mail in the mail.
Yeah, I don't really remember
You don't remember that?
Maybe I'm way younger than you, Ty.
Danielle, thank you so much. It's been nice having you here. Hey guys, where's my camera? Right there. Danielle is no longer part of our show today.
Listen, I don't remember. I don't remember the mail part. I do remember.
Danielle, you still talking? Someone's still talking. I thought this was just my show.
I do remember the
What do you remember? Since you're so much younger than I am.
I remember
we are the same age, though.
I remember the commercials.
What were they?
I'm still in my 30s.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh,
thanks.
never mind. So I am older.
You are older.
I thought we were the same age. Just kidding.
We have a photographer he mentions that a lot too, and I'm like, we're not the same age, but
we're not the same age.
It's funny. But I was going to say before I was rudely interrupted.
Were you? I feel like there was only one rude person here, but.
Well, you look great for your age, Ty.
This is getting hurtful.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I remember the commercials, okay? There you go. I remember they were standing outside. They had balloons, the big old check.
Yeah, the big old check.
I remember that. I do not remember the mailers.
Okay, well.
Maybe they were coming by horseback in your time.
Oh, boy. Giddy up.
You won 2 cents.
Okay, Danielle.
Let's get the wheels back on the bus.
So our next story is about Publishers Clearinghouse. Guess what? They filed bankruptcy. And this is the interesting thing. They left past winners. Excuse me, I think I need water. They left past winners.
We're having too fun.
Unpaid, we are. So listen to this. There was a guy, I listened to this morning in a podcast, and I had to find more information about this because I thought this was just insane. So there was a guy, his name is John Wiley, 60 years old, from Bellingham, Washington. He won a $5,000 a week for life.
Wow.
This was back in 2012. So he, for more than a decade, collected an annual check of $260,000. So basically, he was like, listen, I'm making $260,000 a year. And I guess you could choose if you wanted it weekly.
The lump sum or
the lump sum. So he would get one check every year for that $260,000 every single year.
Which would be like a salary.
Yeah. So he quit his job. He bought some property. He made some, land, or bought some land rather. And then all of a sudden, guess what?
Sorry.
Those checks ain't coming anymore.
They're bouncing.
Yeah. So because Publishers Clearinghouse filed for bankruptcy, he is no longer getting paid. Isn't that wild?
That is very wild.
I mean, you would think that you win it for life. He also said that he had. See, look, this
I
is
wonder
like one
what
of the
obligation they have, though. I mean, once you win that money, I'm sure you had to sign something that says
if the company
if this
goes
does
under
happen,
or something happens. Yeah.
I would think they'd protect themselves in that way.
So
But
there's new owners, evidently, for Publishers Clearinghouse, and basically they, because of them going into bankruptcy, they don't have to pay out previous winners.
Oh,
so
the plot thickens.
What I thought was interesting, the guy was interviewed, and I guess he kept, you get the big check, like you're seeing this lady get one of the big checks. He kept his big check on his wall, and now he's like disillusioned. He threw away the check.
Oh my gosh.
And now
he's filling out job applications.
Yes, he is.
He's going to have to.
He is, because he's not, I mean, he's only, 60?
Yeah. He's got a lot of life to live.
You would hope that maybe you would invest some of that, but I don't know. When you think you're getting $5,000 every single week or a lump sum of $260,000,
it's crazy.
It is crazy.
But yeah, I mean, where's all the money at? How does this happen?
How does this happen? So you can read more about this. The Consumer Affairs put out a whole little
because there's got to be more people than just him.
Yeah.
That are, people win.
He was the one, I think, that was kind of speaking out about kind of what happened.
Okay.
So he was kind of the one that was talking about, like, look at all this stuff that I used to have and now. But what would you do? I mean, I would be so sad.
Well, yeah.
Thinking that I was like,
here's your free money. And
I'm quitting my job.
No, it's gone.
I'm out of here.
But at the same time, playing, devil's advocate here, you had all those years and all that free money.
Yeah.
It's like,
maybe
you got really lucky.
Yeah.
So
that's very true.
Count your blessings, folks.
10 years getting a check for $260,000.
Yeah, sign me up.
That's not bad.
Sign me up.
All right. Well. But don't look for Publishers Clearinghouse in the mail if you're at Danielle's house, evidently.
Oh, listen.
I'm so old.
Listen.
So old.
No, you're not old.
All right. Before we go to break, I think we have time for let's take a break.
Okay.
And then we'll come back in a few minutes and we're going to talk about engagement rings.
Oh, boy.
Because there's a survey that just came out from the UK. So I wanted to get your perspective if maybe things are a little bit different.
And make me cry, probably all the above.
I'm not going to make you cry. Why am I going to make you cry?
So listen, I made you cry about your age. You're going to make me cry about being engaged and marriage and all the good stuff. So,
all right. That's
full circle, folks.
That'll be fun.
Full circle.
Wow. People are really going to want to tune in for that. More crying with Danielle coming up in 5 seconds.
That is so rude.
We're still fighting during the commercial break.
Gosh.
I was reading some of these comments that you guys wrote. Melinda said, notice that they didn't say their ages.
No, it's a secret. I said I'm still in my 30s, so you guys put the number on it.
I'm 40. Proud to be 40.
Good for you. No, you look
Isabella
amazing. You seriously look amazing.
Okay.
And he said, you're not in your 30s. So thanks for the
I
backhanded.
didn't.
Yes, you did.
I didn't mean it that way.
Yes,
this is.
we're going to have management come in here
Melinda
right now.
said, Ty, you're digging a hole. I sure
Yes.
am.
You sure are.
Sorry, Danielle. I didn't mean it that way.
I have a 5-year-old. I wake up at 2:30 in the morning. I'm running around.
You're doing
while
great.
you're jotting the countries and grasslands and drinking your espresso and childless.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's talk about it.
And then we're getting lots of comments about that last
Let's
story.
talk about rings now.
No, we're gonna do
Marriage.
we're going to read some comments about
Oh,
the
gosh,
Publishers
okay.
Clearinghouse. Jen says, where's the money? Someone else is saying, that's not fair. And then Melinda says, can't count on anything these days.
No.
It's kind of true. If I won money anywhere, I wouldn't quit my job just for this reason. Yeah. In case it dries up, right? You never know.
Well,
All right.
if you would have won that $1 billion.
If I won the $1 billion, I'd
Yeah.
be like 3%.
So you're a
All right.
murderer. I'm glad you said that because
What?
Anita was sitting here trying to say,
If she wait,
I
Anita-
would still work. I'm like, $1 billion?
She said that if she won $1 billion, she
And she's
would.
like, the bosses are watching. I'm like, the bosses would quit, Anita. They'd be gone.
You wouldn't have any bosses.
$1 billion?
They'd be like, peace out. I'm on the next
Nice
private
enough.
jet out of here. Yeah, she's such a liar.
Yeah.
And bosses, I'm not going to quit unless I win $1 billion. I'm here for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's read this next story.
Yes,
And,
let's.
You were not excited about this one. I picked this one because I thought you would be able to weigh in on
No,
this.
I definitely can weigh in.
Okay.
I'm an expert.
On fine jewelry.
Yeah.
A new study from the UK, it's called 77 Diamonds.
Okay.
That's the company,
Okay.
evidently. Reveals most women may not be into a ring like the ring that Cristiano Ronaldo gave his girlfriend of 8 years. I think it was like 37 carats.
Yeah. And what was it, like 15 million or something?
It was like,
Yeah.
they said upwards of 5+ million.
Okay.
I don't think they have like an idea of exactly how much it was. People were just speculating.
Got it.
So this study says that people, or women, I should say, they prefer the quality of the ring and diamond rather than the size of the diamond.
Yes.
Weigh in.
Yes, I agree. I would have to say, in my much younger years,
Oh, okay.
Ty Brennan. Yes, it's all about, I want that fat rock, I want the big diamond. But now, in my much older years,
Okay.
Ty Brennan, I would want
Oh, wait.
something.
I'm gone.
Here's my fiance right here.
Danielle's non-existent fiance.
He's invisible.
Let's take another shot of it. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, there it is.
Oh, dear.
She's really cracking herself up this morning.
We seriously had way too much sugar. Those donuts are definitely kicking in. Okay, I would have to say that, yes, I would prefer nowadays, even just, I think it's like kind of coming around, like women just want like a nice classy band.
Oh,
Like
really?
I would like not even really want.
Hold on, look at the tears coming down your eyes. You really cracked yourself up with that one.
I'm really funny. I'm old and funny
My,
and fiance-less.
so if anybody out there is looking, she's
well,
a catch.
yeah.
She has a very precocious 5-year-old.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we're not doing a dating thing right now, though.
No,
so,
of course not.
Yeah,
no,
no.
of
We're
course not. Yeah.
we're semi locked up.
Oh, someone said big diamonds just get caught on stuff. So there's a reason you don't want a big diamond. It makes you a target also. You don't want to get your finger ripped off for your diamond.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where you're wearing it.
Oh.
Especially that girl, what's the soccer player's name? Sorry, Cristiano.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she's wearing that every day on her daily, jaunts. I'm sure that's in a safe
but that's
somewhere.
what I always
You would
think.
wear it to like a fancy gala or, I mean, wherever rich
Even
people
when
go.
people like have like nice watches, I'm always scared to wear a nice watch. This is my Apple Watch. That's as fancy as I'm getting.
Yep.
I'd be scared to wear it out.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I think back in the day it was more about big rock
Yeah.
and stuff. But now
Like as
it's
a
like
status symbol.
Yeah, I would love like a nice classy band and make it simple. But I do agree though, because some people do have the massive diamonds
Mm-hmm.
and they're poor quality. So when you look at them, they look like they're dirty and gross, and they're poor quality, but they're huge.
Yeah.
But then you have a smaller one that's like a clarity,
brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant or what, and it's beautiful and it sparkles and so.
Darla's saying that big of a rock is absolutely ridiculous.
It is.
I mean, you could pay the GDP of an entire country with the size of that woman's ring. So.
Insane.
Insane.
And now they're talking about the mine diamonds too, the lab growns.
Yeah. And those are getting like really good in quality too.
Yeah.
These like
and they say when you test them, they test as a diamond. So
they're cheaper too, right?
Oh
By
yeah.
a lot.
Oh yeah. Much cheaper. Yep.
Right.
But the resale value is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Not as good. So investment wise, not great.
All right. Our next segment, you guys, one of our favorite places to visit up in Flagstaff. Look at this. We've got the leafometer. It's going to be coming here in just a matter of weeks.
Leafometer.
The leafometer up in Flagstaff.
Oh my gosh.
What do you call it?
A leafometer.
A leafometer?
Leafometer, yep.
That is amazing.
I thought it was a leafometer.
Yeah, he's old.
Please
excuse him.
About the right way to measure the leaves.
So get right up here. The correct pronunciation so I don't screw this up again.
Leafometer.
Leafometer. Okay, and then what exactly does it do?
Okay, so that is a way for us to tell folks down in the valley and around the world what color the leaves are.
Okay.
Because we get a lot of questions, have they turned yellow yet? Are they red yet? Have they been all blown down by a early winter storm?
Yeah.
So we make phone calls all around the city and check in with all of our partners and get an update, and then we post that online at the leafometer.
See, I almost tripped you up, Ryan.
Yep.
We got so excited about talking to you that we forgot to introduce you, by the way.
Yeah,
this is Ryan with the City of Flagstaff. And, we just have an executive producer. I was just talking to her. She had the week off. She went up to Flagstaff and was telling me all of the cool things that she did. Going up to Lowell, she was talking about the cool outdoor astronomy show with
that's
heated
cool.
seats now.
Ooh.
Yep, which you need now because we're in the 50s at night. So Lowell Observatory, where Pluto was discovered in 1930, they've got an outdoor planetarium. And they do
Planetarium,
programs.
that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, open sky planetarium. So
Yeah.
you're actually out in the outdoors looking at the real night sky because we're the first international dark sky city. So you lay in those heated seats and an astronomer talks to you about what you're seeing overhead.
That is so cool.
We always talk about like Flagstaff is such a great place to escape the heat here in the winter. But I really think that like the fall and the winter is when you guys hit your sweet spot up there. I love it.
Yeah, and it's just about the time that you really are tired of the heat down here, right? So it just feels so much better.
I can tell you that.
Yeah,
we're over it.
Yeah, well, we were down in the low 50s last night, and the leaves are starting to change, but the leafometer is still pointing to green because it's only a couple here and there. But every morning, I'm definitely seeing a few more turning yellow, and by early October, we should have some good fall colors, and then that lasts about the entire month.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. So once they start changing, how much time do people have to get there to be able to capture?
Usually we get most of the month of October, and if we're lucky, you still can see some good fall colors in early November, but usually we get a windstorm then that blows them all down. So they're definitely going to be yellow, but then it's a matter of how long are they going to be on the trees. So again, that's the purpose of that online tool, so people have an idea of what to expect if they're going to make the drive up there.
Got it. It's so pretty.
It is so pretty.
Oh, I love it.
We're looking at some of the beautiful images that you sent in. Of course, there's Snowbowl. Obviously, they're known for the skiing, but they're doing we had the lady from Snowbowl, Angie, on our morning show last Friday, and she was talking about the cool rides that they're starting to do up there. Not in the actual gondola, but on the chairlifts that you can go to the top. And I mean, that must be so cool, spectacular to get the vantage point of the Leafs from
the views
up top.
So pretty.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a unique perspective of the state in general. When you get to the top there on a clear day, you can look north and see the rim of the Grand Canyon.
Oh, cool.
You look south, you can see the Red Rocks of Sedona. And then, of course, in October, you see great fall colors the entire ride up and down, whether you're on the chair or gondola. So.
This is also kind of the perfect season, too, to head up there because hotels are fairly inexpensive, too. This is still kind of that sweet spot between the seasons up there, right?
Yeah, October, November, you find better rates, and we still have plenty of events. So there's a science festival this week, a music festival. Next week, there's a star party where people can go for free out to Buffalo Park and look at the night sky with our Dark Sky Coalition. And then October 4th, we have Oktoberfest. So we've got all kinds of events to
Flagstaff
happen
is
in the
the
next
place
few
to
weeks.
be.
It really is. Now, you lived here in the Valley, correct?
That's
And
right, for a
now
long time.
you're a Flagstaff transplant. What is that like?
Still getting used to the cold. I still wear a beanie many more days than my colleagues up there, but it's fantastic. I mean, I spent so much of my spare time there anyways that it just really made sense to relocate and do this all the time. Talk about Flagstaff. I have an easy time.
What a fun job.
It's so fun.
You're promoting someplace that everybody already loves.
Or they already want to go.
Yeah. What a fun job for you.
Yeah, it's funny when we go up there, we always cover the first snow or whatnot, and we go up and I should say, bundled. You know, the beanie, the scarf, all the above.
But you're originally from Las Vegas, so you've always been a desert girl.
I have, yeah. Yep. And my first job was in Fargo, North Dakota. Go figure. Where I really froze. So, yeah, I go to Flagstaff and I'm just... Anything below 70, I'm in a sweatshirt, so...
Yeah. I was going to ask you, now that we've got you here, I mean, what are some of your maybe like off the beaten path tips, tricks, favorite places that you and your family like to go? And you obviously you're up there now, but that people maybe don't know, that maybe it's not on their radar.
Well, Arizona Snowbowl is great for fall colors. It's kind of the well-known destination to do that. People who are familiar with that could keep driving on the same highway, and there's the Nordic Center, and so that's a free experience where you can get out of the car and walk through some aspen groves without paying to ride a lift. The Inner Basin on the east side of Flagstaff, so you drive Highway 89 like you're going to Page and then turn into the Inner Basin. I think a lot of people are aware, people who frequent that area know that there's been a road closure. So you can't drive right to Lockett Meadow, and so obviously that limits it. But the sort of hidden gem there is that if you're willing to walk 3 miles in and 3 miles out, you've got the Inner Basin to yourself right now. And so this fall will be great. You have all these fall colors, and for people that enjoy getting outdoors and aren't afraid to lace up their hiking boots, that's a really special experience because you don't have cars and big crowds up there.
What's the cave?
The Lava River Cave.
Yes.
It is cool.
I did a story there, and that is fascinating. That is, it's freezing cold down there.
Always cold.
It's always cold down there. In the middle of summer, that is really cool to check that out.
Is there what is a good website for the city that folks can, you mentioned some of these cool events that are popping up as we head into fall, that folks can kind of look at all that?
Discoverflagstaff.com. Okay. So we've got the leafometer on there.
Leafometer.
Don't get it wrong.
We've got the festivals lined up there. We've got recommended hikes, some information about the Lava River Cave. So all of that stuff is at discoverflagstaff.com.
Discoverflagstaff.com.
So fun.
I know. I got
doing all the fall stuff today, the pumpkin donuts. And I have to say, at 4:30 this morning, it was cold out. I was chilly.
Yeah.
So Flagstaff, bring it on.
I know, right? They were down at Crystal said this morning, 35 degrees
Oh
in
my
Flagstaff
gosh.
this morning. Those temps are starting to drop.
That's
Ryan,
right.
thank you so much for coming in. We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we're going to be peeping the leafometer. I got to make sure I get
Did he
that
do
right.
that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
leafometer.
Got it.
Okay.
Not leafometer. Leafometer. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Danielle, thanks so much for hanging out and
You
filling in
got
with
it.
me. We appreciate it.
Of course,
we'll
always.
see you back here tomorrow. But next, Ron, continuing the show. And Isabella.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another half hour of Fox 10 Talks. You're looking right over the Chase Field, which is, by the way, the home of the D-backs, who still have a chance. They're only 2 games out of the wild card, you guys. So we have Bella and we have Danielle. I mean, they still got a decent shot at making the playoffs.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That was a fun time.
Gosh,
what was that, 2 years ago?
I know.
Yeah.
Well, 2 years ago, we were the unexpected surprise team to make it to the World Series. So anyway.
We'll keep our fingers crossed for the
good luck to
boys.
them for sure. So if you're new to what we're doing, Fox 10 Talks is a 2-hour streaming show. And you can catch us on YouTube, which we love because we get to read all your comments. Linda's there saying, hey, Hooner and Bella.
Hey,
I mean, we all go
Linda.
by nicknames around here. Danielle joins as well.
I don't think I have a nickname yet.
What is your nickname? What was your college or high school nickname?
Everyone just calls me Danny. But
Danny.
my family calls me Dan.
Dan.
I don't know if I like that from the public, though. So
Okay.
that's more the fam.
Okay.
So just, Danny.
Okay, Danny.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
Perfect.
we'll
Okay.
see if the chat comes up with some new ones.
There we go.
Yeah.
We'll
They're
take
very
suggestions.
keen on nicknames.
Yeah, we had to settle on Bella because with Isabella, it could have also been Izzy. But you're
Nope.
like, no, I don't like that.
don't
I
like
want
Izzy.
it to be Bella.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
And so every time when we go to the audience's favorite camera, which is right over there, the Dave cam.
What's Dave's nickname?
If
Oh,
yeah.
Big D.
Big
Dave's
D.
nickname.
Got it. Okay.
Courtesy of Celeste.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's you'll get your chance later, Dave. But whenever Bella sneaks into his shot, it's called a Bella bomb.
Oh.
Like a photo bomb.
Got
Like a
it.
photo bomb
Bella
with
bomb.
starring
All
Bella.
the things I'm learning.
So we asked Danielle to join us this morning because your reports, as soon as we went on the air this morning, were really pretty incredible. And you were standing there right next to the smoking hulk of what used to be a light rail train. I'm going to play the video for anybody who has not seen it yet. And then we'll get a lot more from you in terms of, what it was still like out there this morning. So ready? First, we have this. I don't know how many people were just out and about at that time of night, but if you saw this in person, I'm sure you were shocked. And then you can see the flames just light up that light rail train. It looked like it wasn't so much the impact, it was the fire. And now you can see how badly burned it was. And then Craig comes by a little bit later, and he's like, wow, you guys, look, I'm still a couple of blocks away, and you can just see the blaze. So give us your take, Danielle, on what was going on and what you saw.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy out there. And I did see some other photos just on social media of the smoke from afar. So people kind of, you could see this across the entire valley because of how big it was. But you guys heard the explosion. I mean, that was loud. It was very loud, yes. So when we got there, obviously the fire was out. Everything was in the cleanup phase at that point. And you could just see the entire tractor trailer. So the semi, you could see the front of it, but then the back of it, the actual, the trailer part of it was just completely obliterated. I mean, it was smashed in, obviously, from that light rail train hitting it and then pushing it down the tracks, and then all of the damage there because of the fire that was caused. There was another video floating around as well that had the fire department. You could see them cutting, they were using saws to kind of cut in the side of the tractor trailer because you could see all of the fire was inside of it. So they were trying to extinguish it, not being able to open it or whatnot. But it was incredible. It was crazy.
Could you still smell the smoke? And
a little bit.
By the way, is it more of just the fire that came from the semi or an electrical fire? Because, you're dealing with electronics on a train like this. What do we know?
I think it was both. So I think it originated, if you can see the beginning of this video, you could see that it starts in the semi. It looked like kind of the cabin area, which I believe, I'm not 100%, but that's where most of their fuel storage is, in those big tanks underneath the cabin portion of them. And I think what happened, and you can see from the video, it kind of spread underneath and then came up the backside of the train up against the wall. And then, from there, things were fully engulfed. And it happened at 7:15 last night. We know that there was about 25 people on the train. Everybody.
Oh, there it is.
Here it is again.
Wow.
Crazy.
So we, obviously investigators are going to have to piece it all together. But as you stood there kind of Because the wreckage was still there when you went on the air this morning. They didn't haul that stuff out of there till I think around 9 o'clock.
Yeah, no, and they had some massive tow trucks out there. And at one point I saw one of them using a crane to try to get some of the portions of the semi off the tracks.
Wow.
As far as the light rail train, they're obviously going to have to move that as well. But it was completely shut down. There was cleanup crews. The streets, the roadway was completely covered with, all the oil and the debris. And so they had people out there sweeping and, kind of cleaning up the street area. And it was crazy.
Were you able to figure out, though, how the semi-truck driver could miss a light rail train coming right down the tracks?
There is a street right there. So I don't know what happened. Okay. But it appears from the video, if you just look at it, that maybe because there's a stop sign there, and then which allows you then
on 18th Street,
exactly, and then which allows you to turn onto the main roadway there, and you can go alongside the train. Okay. There's
in the far right.
Exactly,
lane.
In the far right. Yep, you can travel.
Yeah.
Just normal vehicles can.
Which locals would know.
Exactly. Yeah. So I don't know if he maybe missed the stop sign, maybe. I don't know. And somebody commented, don't they have trains? Yes. I mean, the light rail was, you could hear the train, which they normally do every time they're kind of, going along the tracks there. They do have those horns that they use to kind of alert people. But so I don't know. Maybe a medical emergency. We just don't know at this point. So, or maybe he thought he could turn.
Better repeat yourself. I think the sound was, what was your last point there?
I was just saying maybe he missed the stop sign. Yes. There's a way to turn onto the street there if the light rail's not. So that I'm not sure.
Yeah, a couple of people are sharing their thoughts in the comments. Jen's Wall says, I think the electricity lit the diesel. And Louis Gonzalez says, diesel is hard to combust, but once it starts, it burns hot. So that might have been what we saw from the flames.
Yeah, because it definitely started very small and then quickly just, you could see in that video there, it completely erupted and the flames were kind of shooting off.
What was the time frame? I mean, when did it happen?
So it happened at 7:15 last night.
Okay.
We started our live shots there at 4:30 this morning, and we left there at 8 o'clock this morning, and it was still, the semi-truck was still there on the tracks at that point. So we left after 8, so I'm not sure what happened after that point.
Yeah, but there was obviously no, I guess they were stopping the train further back because you couldn't come down the track.
No, Yeah, I'm not sure how far back they had it.
Right.
Because the train was still there on the tracks as well.
Yeah.
So it was, not good.
How often have you ridden the light rail? In fact, I'll ask both you guys, Bella. Think about that. How about you, Danielle?
Never.
You've never ridden it?
Mm-mm.
Really?
I mean, for work, but not coming to work, but of when we've done stories, like with the actual light rail officials. But
Have you done it?
Just 4 times. Mainly in college to get from downtown campus to the ASU games.
Okay, which takes what, about 20 minutes, would you say? 20 to 25?
I'd say about half an hour just because there's so many stops.
Yeah, there are a lot of
we would always ride it to the games.
Yeah. I'm always surprised how few people are actually on it because it's such a great service. But I remember one time, you probably don't know this about me, but I'm a little bit tight with the dollar.
Not you.
I know you don't know that about me.
Are you serious, Ron?
Correct. But I said I had to drop off I'm trying to remember what the whole backstory was, but I had to drop off a rental car at the rental car center over by the airport. And I thought, it'll be a lot easier for my wife, Renee, to pick me up rather than coming all the way in town because she's always busy with the grandkids and everything. I thought this will be a good experience, like an experiment. I'm going to ride the light rail from the rental car center, see what that's like for the average Joe, take it over to the airport, and then just keep going because that's the SkyTrain.
Right.
Then you take the SkyTrain to the 44th Street station.
Yep.
Then you hook onto the light rail, and I said, well, honey, just pick me up at Gilbert and Maine, where it all kind of comes to an end. And my two thoughts were, where is everybody? I mean, there were very few people on the train.
What time was it?
Let's think.
I'm wondering if there was...
It was like... it would have been a busy traveled. I think it was Sunday at like noon.
Oh.
Something like that. So that surprised me.
Yeah.
And there was never a ticket taker. Nobody ever came on to see whether everybody was riding for free or whether we all had our tickets. So that also surprised me. And then the third thing was, Bella, how long it took to get from the rental car center to 44th Street and then all the way out to Gilbert and Maine. I think the whole experience was about an hour.
Oh, Ron.
Sorry, Renee.
And so
you're picking
said,
up Ron next time.
Next time I'll take the bus. Thank you very much.
At least you learned for next time.
Actually, it's such a nice ride, you know, because it's so smooth. But boy, yeah, there are a lot of stops, but obviously there have to be. Okay, Danielle, thanks for your reporting on that.
Yep, you bet.
We got a couple of other stories that we're following today for you as well, including what happened out there in Mesa. This is really, I think, kind of a concern. We've reached out to Mesa Police, but they do not have any additional information to share with us yet. Here's what happened. Boy, there was a shooting where one person was killed and a second person is critical.
Oh, no.
And it happened, if you're at all familiar with Mesa, a pretty well-known area, right as you get off the 60, the Superstition Freeway, and take a right, and you head south on Gilbert Road down to Baseline. Well, there are a couple of 3 apartment complexes right there. And they said that the shooting happened in the early morning hours. But, right now, as far as we know, we've not heard from Mesa PD. The gunman is still on the loose.
That's scary. And that's your side of town.
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
so,
God.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but they had set up the mobile command unit. We're hoping to get a little bit more, but Mesa PD's got a big case on their hands. And maybe by this time tomorrow morning, if the case isn't cracked, they will join us and let us know a little bit more. And then, Bella, this other story of a motorcycle rider who was killed in a crash involving a Waymo. Now, the Waymo was not at fault in any way. Again, this happened, we always say early morning. What we're really talking about is the hours after midnight,
Overnight
right?
hours.
Yeah. So this would have been Saturday night going into Sunday morning. Not quite sure. Was it 2 a.m., 3 a.m., something like that? But police say the motorcyclist is the one who was killed, hit the driverless vehicle from behind, but then was struck by a third vehicle. And that car then leaves the scene. So it's also a hit and run.
Yeah, there's just so many parts to the story. You know what's scary, Ron? I rode a Waymo from Tempe on Saturday.
Oh, gosh.
Saturday evening.
Wow.
So not Saturday overnight,
right.
But Saturday evening, my friends and I, we were out in Tempe tailgating for the football game.
Yep.
And we took a Waymo home. So just seeing that happening is pretty scary.
More to come on that. Right now, it's Mystery Cam time. Here you go, everybody. Hello, everybody. This is Fox 10 Talks. It's, as you guys are saying, Hooner and Bella. So we have another mystery cam. We do one every morning in the 10 a.m. hour and then another one in the 11 a.m., usually right here at the quarter till break. So if you have any guesses as to where that is. Now, the thing about it is, I thought, oh, that almost looks like kind of similar to where we were last hour, which was in Florida. But I only see
inland Florida.
I only see one palm tree. So I think I'm not. I feel like if it was actually Florida, there would be more palm trees. Well, let's see. What are some of our guesses?
Yeah, we are seeing Ohio from Jen's Wall.
Okay.
Jared of Sonora thinks Oklahoma. Real Philosophy says Arkansas. Louis Gonzalez with Alabama. Patricia Randolph says Texas. Melinda is thinking Arkansas. And Linda thinks it's Texas.
I like that Oklahoma guess from Jared of Sonora.
Jared of Sonora.
And so what are you going to go with, Bella?
Well, to go on Melinda's running joke we've had for a few months now, I know it's not Tucson.
Right.
Not Tucson.
Right.
You know, I'm going to say, I don't know, Idaho.
Okay. All right, everybody. Here she is on today's Bella Cam, by the way. Des is off, Celeste, Anita, they're all working on a big project. They'll be back tomorrow, normal schedule, but here we go.
Okay.
Oh, look at this.
Orange,
Texas. I feel like as a service to our viewers.
Linda was right. She said Texas. Good job, Linda.
Good job, Linda. One of our very faithful viewers. So Orange, Texas.
Have you visited?
No, that's why I got to go look it up. Let's see. There's Orange and West Orange, but I've driven through without even realizing it. One time I drove all the way out to New Orleans from the airport in Houston, and the I-10 freeway, the very same freeway that runs from right here in the valley and just a couple blocks from us here in downtown Phoenix. The 10, you know, it runs all the way to Florida, I think to Jacksonville, Florida. But you're driving the 10. If you leave Houston, you go through Beaumont and Orange. There it is. One more time.
Wow.
Is right there kind of in the flatlands before you just before you get into Louisiana. So it almost looks more like Louisiana than Texas, and that is today's Mystery Cam. So Bella, you were telling us about, so you were riding in a Waymo over the weekend. Everything went fine for you, except there was one hiccup. What happened?
I think God had a hedge of protection on me on Saturday because on the way to Tucson, on the way to Tempe, my friends and I rode the light rail. And then we saw that video of the light rail crash. And then on the way back to downtown from Tempe, we rode a Waymo. And then you see the Waymo malfunction.
Did you go on the Waymo because there was a problem with the light rail?
You know, I just as being young women, sometimes there's some characters on the light rail, especially when it gets dark. So we just felt more comfortable Waymoing. Plus, the Waymo would be a lot quicker than the light rail. They need to get that
figured out. People need to feel safe getting on a light rail train.
But when we were getting into our Waymo, this was right on Mill Avenue, and there was a lot of foot traffic, a lot of car traffic, just because it was a home game day.
So Mill and about what?
Mill Avenue, and I don't know the other cross street, but just think Mill Ave, that strip.
But in the downtown area.
Yes. Okay. And so we got into our Waymo, and there was a lot of people walking around, and
what the Waymo do?
It circled in place for a good 5 minutes.
In the intersection or where?
Thankfully, it wasn't in an intersection, but it was on the street. So I think the Waymo might have been confused because there were people walking around and traffic both ways. But we were like circling in the Waymo for a good 5 minutes. The Waymo was confused.
Were you trying to come up with an exit plan, like who's going to do the drop and roll and get out first, or what?
I wasn't thinking of an exit plan because I've been in a lot of Waymos, and they've all been doing that little circle motion for like 3 to 5 minutes.
Really?
Like another time, a Waymo was trying to get out of like an apartment complex, and I think it was confused, so it was circling for like 7 minutes.
Okay.
So, you know, I just went with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes that's all you got to do. Eventually, it'll get it figured out.
Yes.
The robo-taxis are such a huge thing. So many are getting into that business, but it's not perfect. Just yet. Okay, so let's roll this video. To me, it's my favorite video of the day. Ready? Here we go. This is just unbelievable, Bella. So we talked about it a little bit last hour. By the way, they said they were going to do their best to get all of the repairs made. But this was during the day yesterday, 27th Avenue and Southern. And I don't know. I would love to be able to figure out why was this one so epic compared to other water main breaks that we have had in the past. Sometimes there's just like a little gurgle and it'll just flood the street. But this was full on Old Faithful.
Oh, it looks like a geyser. You'd see it in National Park.
Sure it does.
Oh, and it, from the reports, that had been going on for hours.
Right.
Think of all the water that's been wasted.
Yeah,
We're already in a desert. It's a drought. Oh,
I know.
It's too bad.
I looked at it and said it would become a great tourist attraction, but it would waste a lot of water.
Oh, yeah.
But if
So
you've
much
ever been to
water.
Old Faithful, you know that people by the hundreds come and park right there. They got great parking right by Old Faithful. You can walk out, and it's usually right on within about 3 to 7 minutes of when they think it's going to be. And it's an incredible sight to see, but then so is this. Okay, so the Cardinals won, but they didn't look that great. They should have just creamed the Carolina Panthers. They didn't, and Coach Gannon was not very happy about it. There were no smiles from him in the news conference afterwards. He's like, when we have a lesser opponent, he didn't say lesser. I'm saying they are a lesser opponent. They are not very good. You got to put the pedal to the metal and keep it going. But anyway, we can tell you this. This is a great story. There's a guy who's a super fan. I think he's probably always dreamed of being able to go to a Cardinal game. So he's from Prescott Valley. His friends at the PV branch of Desert Financial Credit Union, they were just trying to get him a jersey. But when the team caught wind of it, the Cards provided Ricky with a game. This is Ricky. Here's his story right here. They provided him with game tickets, pregame field passes, all of this going on, and even a jersey from his number one favorite player, Kyler Murray. So here's a little bit more about that.
I was excited to come to see them play out here. Ricky is one of our favorite members that we have at the Prescott Valley branch for Desert Financial. And over the years, got to know him and his love for the Arizona Cardinals. He's so nice to everybody. He's a friend to everybody. It's just Ricky's so deserving of this kind of fun stuff because everybody in Prescott Valley knows Ricky. He's an integral part of our community. I was surprised. I didn't expect it. I was so excited to get it.
Yeah, no kidding. You can tell. Look at that. Nice seats. What is he? Right there on about the 10-yard line. And a day he'll remember for the rest of his life.
It's incredible.
And so that's so great. Oh, and it was, he's like, I like this one from Marvin Harrison Jr. By the way, Chipotle is celebrating college football with a deal for you fans today. If you love college football, if you wear your college football jersey, so I don't think it's a t-shirt, it needs to be a jersey, to any U.S. location after 5 o'clock this afternoon, you're going to get a BOGO. Buy one, get one free. And, you're talking $10, $12. It's a big savings.
A buck to save.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
For sure. So anyway, way to go to Chipotle. And if you're headed out there, good luck. That's a really good deal.
There's some other burger deals out there.
Let's talk about
food
it.
Deals.
Let's find out all about it. Bella promised in the last hour that she was going to give you guys the best. It's National Double Cheeseburger Day. So what did you find?
Well, a lot of specials across the valley. Burger King is offering a special. They are doing a free hamburger with a purchase of $1 or more.
Okay.
Red Robin, it looks like they're also celebrating. Shake Shack, you will get a free burger with $10 or more of a purchase.
Okay.
And just some other spots. Dairy Queen, Buffalo Wild Wings.
Now, hold on. I love a good DQ. What's the deal there at
The
DQ?
deal is with a purchase of $1 or more, you will get a cheeseburger.
Okay.
Yeah. So you could get a sundae.
Oh, yes, right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so great. We still need a DQ downtown. We have to drive a little ways to go find one. But heads up to Dairy Queen. Downtown's booming. Thousands of people have been moving here.
Are you going to get a cheeseburger today? for the holiday?
You know, I just might.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I texted my mom because her and my dad are watching right now.
Oh, nice.
And my dad says they have to do double cheeseburgers for dinner.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, now, they don't have an In-N-Out in Seattle yet. I just read they put their first one in the state of Washington down around Vancouver.
Yeah, so pretty far from us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it's a, 2.5 hour drive if you want to experience it.
Or they have Dick's not too far.
Right?
Maybe they'll go there.
Yeah. Okay. So then the other food item I figured we should talk about is it's National Cheese Toast Day.
Oh,
Are you on board with a toasted cheese sandwich?
Absolutely.
They are pretty tasty. I think if you dip them, I like to, when I have them, which is rare, dip them into a certain kind of soup.
Is it a tomato soup?
It's tomato soup. Is that how you like to have yours too?
Yes.
Okay.
I do. I have fond memories growing up. Late night snack, my dad would cut like some French bread and put a very thick slice of Tillamook cheddar on that.
Yeah.
You know, that's good.
Yeah.
And he would just toast it. So yes,
nice.
I'm craving one now.
Good. So the folks at the National Today offices say, here's how to celebrate. Ready? Make your own cheese toast. Experiment with different cheeses and breads.
Okay.
All right, fine. Or enjoy the classic version. And then you got to dunk it into soup for a comforting and filling meal.
Oh, yeah.
I do agree with that.
You know, and I think for people who might want to be more healthy, a cheese toast is one less slice of bread than a grilled cheese.
Yeah.
So you get the bread, you get the cheese, you get the soup. I think that's a great combo.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, we're just about out of time. We want to say thank you. We did have some technical difficulties at the beginning of today's stream, but we powered through. It's been a really great show. But we have another Fox 10 Talks coming up live this afternoon. I think that's at 3 o'clock, right? But let's go to Big D. He is our executive producer. He's in charge of everything. That's at 3 this afternoon. And who are some of the stars, Dave, of that particular streaming show?
Yeah, so it'll be Ellen McNamara's first ever Fox 10 Talks. She'll be co-hosting with Mark Martinez, 3 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. I hope everybody joins.
Yeah.
Yay!
No kidding. Oh, she's going to do great.
Oh, yeah.
I love Ellen.
It'll be awesome. I can't wait to watch.
She's such a star in our newsroom, and she's just fun. The beauty of what we do is you got 2 hours. We have a lot more chance to just talk about stuff, share stories, engage with you guys, and have a lot of fun. But that wraps up our 2 hours, Bella. We already got to say our goodbyes.
Oh, goodbye. Goodbye. That was fun. That was a good show.
See you tomorrow, everybody.